onwards to part 3 of the Thunder Rift overview, the major settlements. Now, the book actually only says that there is 3 major settlements, and it defines major settlements as a population center with more than 30 people. And this is not going to include the dwarven home of Hearthhome or the elves that reside in the Gauntlet Forest. This is going to be mainly about the 3 settlements of Klein, or Kleine, as one of my commenters mentioned it may be said, Torlin, and Melenir. The village of Klein is probably going to be the most remote of all 3 of the settlements. It's got an elected mayor along with a town council. I gathered this information using the adventures The Goblin's Lair and Raven's Ruin. The only council member I could find named was a Councilman Bauer. The mayor, even though he's referenced multiple times in multiple adventures, is only referred to as the mayor. So maybe make him sort of like a nondescript man who was obviously the mayor. You all know what I'm talking about. The guy that instead of actually going by his name is actually described by his job title because he fits that job title so well. The village of Klein is actually a farming and fishing village. Its major claim to fame is mainly fishing, though it does have a very good, looks to be leather maker, or leather worker. One of the best in the entire valley, so if you want excellent made leather armor, this is going to be the town you want to come to. There is no smithy to speak of. If you want any metalwork done, you have to go down to the village of Torlin or Melenir, or if you want to risk it, you can try and make it to Hearthhome, which is currently sort of embargoed from the village of Klein due to the ongoing skirmishes between the goblins and orcs versus the dwarves in the area. Though if players want really well-made armor, that's going to be the place they want to go. Other buildings that can be found in the village of Klein is the Melodus Harpy, which is the tavern for the village. It is also used as pretty much the town center. It also has a general store, chapel, some warehouses, stables, and a decent inn. And you should be able to catch on to traveling trade rafts heading down the river that can take you all the way down to Melenir if needed. In regards to population, it is a mostly human settlement, though dwarves, elves, and halflings are always welcomed. It doesn't really say how large the population is. I would probably put the population of Klein somewhere between 60 to 80 residents. It has a single watchtower that is used for the town watch. It is a 50-foot tall watchtower, and the city watch is composed of entirely made of volunteers or those who have no other job. If the city is in imminent danger of being attacked, the watchman rings a bell, and all the citizens rush to their homes, bar their doors, and ready their weapons inside their house, though the village has never actually been under siege. The second settlement is going to be the town of Torlin. The town of Torlin has seen better times. It's apparently under some sort of magical curse, which is further described in the Quest for the Silver Sword. But however, it is led by an elected burgomaster, and elections are held every 5 years, and the current burgomaster is a man named Gustavin. I probably just absolutely butchered that name, but that's who he is. So this has probably got sort of like a Germanic background to it. As for population, I would say the village of Torlin is currently populated between 50 to 60 people. However, it could probably accommodate 120 to 150. The book doesn't exactly tell you, once again, population centers or population amounts, but looking at the size of the map, that's what I say it could probably fit. There is a lumber mill that's no longer in use. There is an inn called the Soft Pillow Inn, a tavern called the Grinning Goblin Tavern. In the center of town is a well. There's quite a few farms. There's a warehouse that is actually an abandoned thieves guild, though no one's figured it out yet. There actually is a bunch of material left in there that no one has yet to locate due to no one knowing who the owner is. The town does have a jail and courthouse. There's a trader, a provisioner, and the town also contains a craftsman, a butcher, a baker, and a smith. The smith is said to be less skilled than the one located in Melenir, but he can make items faster than the one in Melenir due to his workload being less. I would probably say that he could make most of your basic weapons and lighter armor sets like chainmail and the such. Plate mail, that's completely out of the question here. In regards to defenses, I would probably say this town could muster at least 15 to 20 men for a militia or like a city watch. Seeing as how it's got a jail, it has to have some sort of enforcement capabilities. The people that are still living here are probably going to be the most hardiest of the people that were in the village due to the curse taking place, and everybody else that didn't want to stick it through had left. And the ones who stayed that weren't in the best condition probably died off. And the last and final major settlement in the book is a walled city called Melenir. It calls itself a walled city, but apparently, according to the book, only contains about 200 people. I would change that to somewhere between 700 to 1,000 residents, especially since it's calling itself the city, and it's walled in, and if you look at the map, there is a ton of buildings here. The population consists of not only humans, but also elves, dwarves, and halflings. They all live freely within the walled city. And the demeanor of the citizens is described as being gruff and impolite, though they intend no real malice. The city is split into 6 different districts, each one of them having a different priority. You have the residential areas, the market, the merchant's quarter, the warehouse district, the district where all the rich people live because they didn't want to live with the normal residents, and the clerics district. Dead center of the city is going to be the market itself, which also shows that the market and trade is the lifeblood of the city. Anything made in the rift can be found within this market, along with many items that are made from outside the rift, though there would probably be some extra money or costs on top of those items due to having to be imported. To the northwest of the marketplace lies the main residential section. The houses are not huge, but the neighborhood is clean, well kept, and well lit. Vandals prevalent in larger cities are not to be found here according to the book. The northeastern section of the city, wrapping itself around the market, is the Mercantile District. Its shops provide nearly anything anyone could want, from exotic perfumes to common iron nails. Some items, of course, must be imported from outside the rift, which makes them considerably more expensive. Most, though, can be procured at some location in the canyon. The temple grounds lie to the eastern edge of the town. The walled security is proof against most intrusions, however the grounds are open to visitors, so no one really needs to sneak their way in there. The walls, I'm guessing, are more for decorative purposes and in case the city ever comes under siege. Directly south of the temple area, there is 3 stately manors, which I'm guessing is where all the rich people live, with their towers thrusting into the sky. Thick stone walls separate this area from the rest of the city. The residents are described as not appearing to be too pretentious, but they do like their own space. The warehouse district and the docks are on the southwestern location from the market. They hold all the goods that are shipped in from Klein, Torlin, and beyond. The warehouses hold everything that must be sold in the market. The mayor of the town is a human fighter by the name of Valum, V-A-L-U-M. He is actually a 9th level fighter and a member of the Quadrille. He is described as appearing to be 10 years older than he actually is, and if seeking adventurers for missions that benefit the city of Melenir, he will treat the adventurers as peers. And if they perform well in their missions, he will try and befriend them. So, sounding like not too bad of a guy, actually. The city also has a garrison of about 30 city guard. And the city guard is not just human, it also contains elf and halfling guards. And every single one of these guards is level 3. There is 10 level 3 human fighters, 10 level 3 elves, and 10 level 3 halflings. The main gate rests at the northern wall of the city, and is always manned by a guard who will question any new travelers he does not recognize into what their business is upon entering the city. The city also contains a jail, a weaver, a butcher, an inn called the Sarcastic Goat. The inn is also where the stables is. It's got a market, obviously, and it's got a sleeping quarters for the temple, a library and schoolhouse, a temple itself. There is a sage that resides within the town, a money changer and bank there is a Thieves Guild, a tavern called the Dancing Dragon, the Commons, which is a large empty park where residents can be found letting their farm animals graze there. It's open to any of its citizens for whatever purpose they wish, as long as it does not adversely affect the area. Miller and Baker, the wharves, the warehouse. The three manors, one of them belongs to a Nicholas Maybrush, who is a well-respected merchant. Side note here, no one knows it, but he actually obtains many of his goods by robbing other merchants' caravans and slaying the witnesses and claiming the goods as his own. His demeanor is described as being a friendly fellow, and should anyone investigate him, he actually does have some legitimate businesses. Though in reality, he is a backstabbing, two-faced villain. The next manor is the Manor of the Recluse. No one knows who he is, though the manor is said to be full of priceless objects that no thief has been yet able to steal. And the final manor is actually the base of the quadrille. The manor was built for the quadrille by the grateful citizens of Thunderrift in recognition for their achievements and contributions. However, only the mayor of Alum and another member of the quadrille called Karen actually can be found in the place. The elven and dwarven members of the quadrille tend to travel together in the wilderness. This manor is full of mementos such as a dragon's head, weapons from fallen enemies, and various magical items. In regards to the smith in Melenir, the smith is actually going to be a dwarf by the name of Shar. She is acknowledged as one of the best smiths in the Rift. Her work is rather expensive, however, costing at least 2 or 3 gold pieces more than what can generally be found in the rulebook. She is described as a dour little elf, and she does not accept strangers as friends. Once someone has earned her trust, though, she is willing to set aside her work to adventure with them. She can be found equipped with a battle axe +2 and plate mail +1. Now, Shar can pretty much make any sort of item available to any players, including plate mail. Her work is described as good as the dwarves of Hearthhome, which makes perfect sense seeing as how she is from Hearthhome. This is going to be the smith you're going to talk to make some of your best equipment. And with that ends the 3 major settlements of the Rift. I hope this video helps someone out there, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye.